Hey, what's going on, guys? I've been working on this video for quite a while. I've been reading and research. Today we're going to be discussing the Khazarian Mafia and the Khazar Jews and the history they have between Russia and Ukraine. Now, you're not going to find too many people that dig too deep into this topic, such as I'm going to do right here. Let's dive in. The Khazars. All people have to do really is research. I mean, the answers is out there. So who are the Khazars? The Khazar Jews, they have a very deep history embedded over there in Ukraine. First and foremost. That's what people need to get established. If you dig into the history of them, you will see that it all ties together. Everything that we've been taught. This is why, to me, mankind and society will fall, because we've been so dumbed down and been so misled and lied to the point where people really don't want to research. They don't question things nowadays. They just take things as facts. The Khazars were a semi-nomadic Turkic people that in the late 6th century AD established a major commercial empire covering the southeastern section of modern Europe, Russia, southern Ukraine, Crimea, and Kazakhstan. Now, why is this important? Let's dig a little deeper. So after the Khazarian Empire fell in the late 19th century, they saw the emergence of the theory that the core of today's Ashkenazi Jews are descendants from the hypothetical Khazarian Jews. Now, as you can see in the picture, in this ancient artwork, this is the Khazars worshiping doing Shivlin before they was converted into Judaism. Now, back then, I believe between 600 AD, they were given an option to change their religion, because they were worshiping these pagan gods and they were doing child sacrifices and dark magic. So what they were doing were they were putting these babies in the belly of this bronze bull and boiling the baby alive and eating his flesh. These were child sacrifices that the Khazarian Jews were doing. They got several complaints until Russia had to step in and do something about it. The only reason they fell is because they were defeated by Genghis Khan. So as you can see, this article expounds a little bit more on the child sacrifice and things that they were doing back then. You see? These are the type of things they were into. So after they got their ass completely destroyed by Genghis Khan, a lot of them migrated to Poland. That's why Poland just did this. Notice, Poland offered fighter jets for Ukraine. People are not thinking and connecting the dots. Now, when things take a wild twist, just think about it. Russia helped us twice in the past to overcome wars. So why now would the U.S. and Russia be at odds for Ukraine? Now, fast forward a little bit. As you can see, Rothschild pointing, look, he's poking Prince Charles. He's poking him in the chest. Do you know how much of a powerful man? Just think of it. Do you understand how powerful you have to be to poke a prince in the chest? Now, as stated in the article, how they did this was so clever. How they infiltrated after migrating and suffering defeat at the hands of Genghis Khan. They vowed vengeance on Russia because they blamed Russia for their demise. So they always had vengeance set out for Russia and America. And we're going to expound more on that on the second video that I have coming up. So how they began their infiltration the second go around, as stated in this article, they used Babylonian black magic money. Black magic money magic. So basically, in layman's terms, what they did was trick the world to take the paper credit certificates for the gold and silver in return. So they tricked people. They literally tricked people into believing that the paper was more valuable than the actual natural resources. So pretty much after they infiltrated the banking systems using this Babylonian money magic, what they did was convince the people that this paper credit certificates was basically better than the gold and silver. After they did that, they converted that paper, which was nothing. They tricked these people into believing nothing was actually something. These people gave them everything in return for nothing, for paper. And this is why we're stuck in this whole cycle now. Now, this next article here, I'm not going to be expounding too much on the article. I just want you guys to pay attention to the map. I'm going to dig back into this article now on my second video. But the map, Hungary, Roman Empire, Khazaria with the Star of David. Now, I'm going to show you why Hungary ties into all this and who's from Hungary, who's influencing all this and who's tied to it. We all know him as Mr. George Soros. So we don't only have him in it. Let's talk about the president of Ukraine for a quick second. This guy was a comedian, an actor. As you can see, the 666 symbolism, the devil horns, so on and so forth. Here are some tweets from Mr. George Soros. You should, now this should have raised red flags automatically. When someone like George Soros speak out, who's from Hungary, when someone such as this guy speak out, who's best friends with Klaus Schwab, people really need to start paying attention. Not to mention Hunter Biden's dirty Ukraine business that he had going on. I'm going to show you how these people, it's all satanic Orcut, Saturn moon matrix worship. This is all going on. Everything that we see is real. How these people praise Saturn as their god, and how we have society basically, unbeknownst to them, indulging in these dark rituals. It's been in our face the entire time how we got Saturday from the actual planet Saturn. Saturday was actually a Roman festival along with Saturnalia. We adopted this, and this goes to show why most festivals are held on Saturdays. Examples given. All of these festivals began on Saturday. Saturday. You see? Saturday. All of these festivals. Saturday. Saturnalia. Saturn moon matrix. Now, getting back to the story. If you guys could read this right quick, giving a quick summary on how they worship Saturn and where we got it from and how it originated, right? Now, what's funny about this whole Ukraine story is all of the symbolism. This is a patch from one of their battalions over there in Ukraine. Now, Hitler came out and said, not Hitler, excuse me, pardon me. Now, as I was saying, all of this is directly tied to the Saturn moon matrix. You're going to see the symbolism throughout it. Vladimir Putin said that he was trying to denazify Ukraine because they were infiltrated by Nazis. You're going to see in a second, folks, how everything that I'm saying sounds like I'm all over the place, but how it loops into a full circle. People really have to start paying attention to the signs of symbol. Okay, now, here's an article backing up what Putin said. This is a battalion. A battalion, if you would. This is a neo-Nazi militia group. And what Putin said is basically true. Listen, just read what this group is and who they're directly attached to. Special Operations Detachment, often known as Azov Detachment, Azov Regiment, and Battalion, is a right-wing extremist and neo-Nazi unit of the National Guard of Ukraine. So these people are directly working with the military. Like I said, it's always hidden right in plain sight. What I'm saying is, how could Putin be lying about the Nazis when it's right here? Not only is it right there, we just showed the article of us talking about it. Read the article. Read the heading of this article. Putin using false Nazi narrative to justify Russian attack on Ukraine, experts say. This is an article from ABC News. Here's another article. Putin says he will denazify Ukraine. Here's the history behind that claim. Here's another article. Putin claims to rid Ukraine of Nazis is especially observed given the history. So we have the United States media saying that what Putin's saying is a lie. But now, listen, look. But watch how American media backs up what Putin's saying that they are Nazis. Here we are. Article. The far-right neo-Nazi group has expanded to become part of Ukraine's armed forces, a street militia, and a political party. This is the same Nazi group I just showed you. They are Nazis. It specifically says it. The media is identifying them as a neo-Nazi group. So what Putin is saying has some validation to it. It's saying it right here. So 1 minute we have a news article from the United States saying that Putin's lying, he's lying, and it's absurd. Then we have that same company coming out and verifying what Putin said. This is neo-Nazi groups in the militia and the military in Ukraine. Let's not talk about the biolabs that we had over there in Ukraine that they're saying is a lie and a conspiracy too. Not to mention this, more of the map. This is old day, modern day, back near the Caspian Sea. Khazarya, Ukraine. Why is this important? I'm going to be expounding more on this in part 2. We're going to dive deeper into the signs and symbols that they're using and how you know that it's all connected to the Saturn Moon Matrix and to the Khazarian Mafia. We're going to be talking about this guy too, Mr. Klaus Schwab.